Wheel of Games!
Hi, I'm bigcal, and welcome to my world. Today is the end of the month, which only means one thing: Wheel of Games, where I spin this lovely roulette wheel. Whatever it lands on, I have to buy something based in that category, then play it if it's a game. Some of it isn't, and then try and do a little bit more of an in-depth video about the game rather than the old DIY gaming box where I'll just show it off. 5 minutes of 5 minutes of gameplay, split down into like 20 seconds of footage showing you the video. At least this time I'm playing the games a little bit more for a couple of hours at least, and trying to have a bit more of an informed opinion about them. So, a couple of things first off. I now have a wireless microphone that actually works. I bought one in the past. It didn't work with my phone for whatever reason, so the audio quality should be a lot better now, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Yeah, and the wheel, I gave it all a really good clean earlier. It was a bit dirty, and the writing had been on there for a year now, so it was starting to wear away, so just wiped it all off and redid it, so all the stuff is no longer in the same order. If it is, it's by complete accident, because I didn't look at what the old one looked like. So I don't remember what has replaced what it landed on last month. So yeah, we're just starting from scratch basically, and I've just rewritten some of them. Before it was £5, under £5, under £10, under £20. Now I've done it £10 or under, £5 or under, £20 or under, just so it makes a bit more sense. Yeah, so anyway, let's just get into the video. Last month, when I spun the wheel, it landed on Nintendo games, so I had to buy a game for a Nintendo system. And I own almost all of them, so a lot of games to pick from. But I got something that has been on my gaming want list for a number of years now. I finally picked it up and played it for this video, and that is for the Super Nintendo. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Go go Power Rangers, do 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 do. Go go Power Rangers, please don't copyright strike me. Right, sorry. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the SNES is a game I had as a kid and remember fondly, but for some reason has taken all of this time to finally buy again. I recently got the game for the Mega Drive, thinking it was the same type of game, only to be disappointed that it was a crappy fighter. So here, finally, is the SNES beat-em-up from my childhood. The story is, okay, so I think Rita Repulsa shows up and sets the city on fire, but not the part of the city the Power Rangers are in, because none of the levels are on fire. Seriously, what you're seeing on screen right now is all we get. Not even the instruction manual gives you any story, and I checked. You get to pick between any of the 5 Power Rangers from the time: Trini the Yellow Ranger, Billy the Blue Ranger, Jason the Red Ranger, Kimberly the Pink Ranger, and Zack the Black Ranger. All of them play ever so slightly different from each other, but not enough to make any real difference to the gameplay. So just pick your favourite and dive in. But don't worry, you can select a different one at the beginning of each stage. The game is divided into areas, and each area typically has 4 sections to it. You start off as a regular human, then eventually you'll run into the boss of the area and you'll transform into a Power Ranger and fight like that for a while, going through the stage until you finally get to take on the boss. Do this, defeat the boss, and advance to the next area. Fighting here is about what you would expect from a beat-em-up. Punch, kick, throw, jump. Nothing advanced here. If anything, it is pretty basic. Once you transform into a Power Ranger, your attack changes up as you now have a character-specific weapon, but as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't really change the gameplay up in any meaningful way to make one Ranger better than the other. There is also a screen-killing special attack you can hit as a Power Ranger, and as far as I can tell, you only get one of these per area, so I typically saved it for the bosses. In fact, I couldn't find a way to gain any power-ups or extra lives, just the very rare health pickup. But the manual does state that there are power-ups to be found, so maybe I just missed them? So yeah, well, it is pretty basic. It is fun to beat up enemies. However, it is a shame that outside of bosses and some stage hazards, all you get to hit are putty men. It's typical beat-em-up fashion. They simply change colour to let you know that they are stronger and will take more hits. And it is repetitive as hell, sadly. Luckily, the game does throw in some challenge elsewhere. Now, as a kid, all I remember is Area 1 and the boss at the end, which is a skeleton thing. I'm not even sure if it has a name, but if it does, it's probably Bones. Yeah, odds are I never was able to beat the boss, or if I did, I didn't get far enough into Area 2 to see what else the game has to offer beyond moving left to right and punching putty men. Because it isn't long into Area 2 that you find yourself inside a factory, having to climb up platforms, avoiding not just putty men but various robots and stage hazards that want to hurt you, and trying to navigate moving platforms as well. Adding verticality definitely improves on the basic left to right formula. Further into the game, water is added as well, from just wading in it in the sewer to having to swim in rising and falling water, using it to navigate the stage. Sadly, between the game being pretty difficult, for me anyway, and the sheer lack of extra lives and health pickups for the most part, I wasn't really able to get very far into the game. Luckily, there are passwords. Yep, I used a couple to see some of the end stages, which are Megazord battles. These are one-on-one fighting stages, and while they look so cool, moving and attacking is very slow and sluggish. I was able to defeat one of the bosses here, but failed on many attempts for the other two. If the fighting was a little smoother here, I think I could have enjoyed the Megazord parts a lot more. A shame, really. Overall then, there is plenty to enjoy here. The visuals are great, it's just pure 16-bit goodness. And the same goes for the audio, with the Power Rangers theme song even being here in the title screen and for 16-bit sounding wonderful. While there are no complex combos or anything, the fighting is mostly satisfying. It just gets repetitive having to beat up on the exact same enemy over and over again with just a colour palette swap. And while the game is difficult, I do feel it is something I could overcome in more time. But between the game not arriving until halfway into the month, and then the heatwave here in the UK keeping me from wanting to play anything but handheld games in front of a fan, I didn't spend as much time with the game as I would have liked. Really, what lets it down for me the most are the Megazord fights, because they just play clunky as hell, and the lack of power-ups, extra lives, and extra special attacks, at least from what I could see. For fans of the series, especially from the early 90s that this is set during, I can definitely recommend this, despite all of its flaws. And that is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo. Finally added this to my collection, one that I played as a kid. Awesome stuff. Right then, now it is time to spin the wheel and see what I'll be buying for in the month of July 2026. So, okay, that moved a bit over there. I'm going to spin that again while I hold it down. Yeah, make it a bit more fair. There we go. And it landed right in the middle. We'll get somewhere this time, I promise. Okay. Right. Okay. Very interesting and somewhat difficult one. It is £5 or under. Well, I say difficult, there are still a lot of games that you can get for cheap, and of course I am not limited to just physical. If I was to go the digital route, let's be honest, I could probably get multiple games for under £5, or £5 and under, on the likes of Steam or Good Old Games, especially right now there is a Steam summer sale going on. So yeah, I could get something for the PC, or I could get a console game. There are still plenty to be found, especially Wii games and things like that. There are tons £5 and under that are genuinely good. Some of my favourite Wii games are still £5 and under. Yeah, so it's probably not going to be that hard, but it will be interesting to see exactly what I pick up. So, I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of my game this month, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo. Did you grow up with it as a kid? Have you played it now when you're slightly younger than me and didn't grow up in the 90s and you make me feel old? Stop making me feel old! Yeah, what do you think of that game? And let me know if there are any games £5 and under I should be on the lookout for next month. And I'll see you again next time.